This is the Juiceman Juice Extractor Operations Guide. Coming up, you'll see assembly and disassembly, produce cleaning, a juicing demonstration, cleaning the machine, and product information.
I'm Jay Kordich, the Juiceman. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for your purchase of what I believe to be the very best juicer on the market today. I hope you're excited about making fresh juices in your own kitchen. It's the only way to optimal health. This tape is your video instruction manual. We'll take you through the assembling of the juicer, the cleansing of the juicer, and I'll also give you along the way a lot of tips and suggestions on how to operate your Juiceman juicer properly. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to read your instruction manual, and I want you to read it thoroughly. I want you to take the instruction manual and reread it several times so you'll know absolutely everything there is to know on how to operate. It's a very comprehensive and in detail with recipes and all kinds of guidelines. Now, what I want you to do, and I want to stress this, before you use your juicer, thoroughly rinse and wash each and every part. I would like to also have you never wipe the pieces off with a washcloth or a dish towel, because sure as shooting you're going to have a few little fragments in there, as like I mentioned at the seminar, and they'll roll right into your juice and maybe lodge themselves in your stomach or the intestines or whatever, and you'll have a lot of problems down the line. When you put the juicer back, there are 4 little mounds on the motor mount, and they fit in these 4 holes on the bottom of the spout section. And always line your spout where it says Juiceman, facing forward. Now, the second piece that you rinse off, we'll show you how to rinse it in a minute. There's a little cutout right here that fits in the center piece with the chute away from the name Juiceman. This is the chute that goes into the receptacle, and that places just like you see it here. Now, there's a turntable that we have on here, and here's your straining basket. These are your cutter blades. This is your micro mesh screen that strains the pulp so the juice only comes through. All you do is place it over the drive shaft. Now, what I want you to do is notice right now, see how that teeter-totters? You must do something more than just this. What I want you to do is take your 5 fingers or bend your forefinger and put your thumb in opposite areas on that blade and just press down to seat the blades properly. Now just watch. See? I've just placed it in place. And always spin this to make sure if there's anything binding, then these other pieces haven't been correctly assembled. Now the cover itself fits with the smooth front end, and the chute goes out in the back end where the receptacle is going to fit under. So what you do is just place this on thusly. Very easily done. Now you have 2 side clamps. You lift them up and place them on top of their mounts. And then on the bottom, you snap them in place. All right? Now coming with the juicer, you'll notice inside, this is the plunger or pusher, if you will. A little tip. As you're pushing the food in, you advise your children if they're using it, and you yourself remember to take the food and push it just till it maybe enters this hopper unit. We call this opening a hopper, maybe a 1/2 inch deep. The rest of the way you push down with this plunger. Take a stalk of celery, the plunger the rest of the way. This juicer comes with a receptacle, a bucket, so to speak, and it tucks. If I can turn the juicer sideways, you'll get a good view. It merely tucks up under very loosely and snugly. A little word of advice. All these plastic bags that you see around at the supermarket produce stand on the rolls, I want you to accumulate and save as many of them as you can, because we made this receptacle and adapted it so it will fit a plastic bag into it. One other thing I want to stress, and that is the electrical outlet, the electrical cord. Now, one thing you must always remember when you're assembling the machine or dismantling the machine, unplug the juicer. Take it out of its electrical socket for safety factor. Plug your machine in, then turn on the power. Now that's the way your machine should sound. Should there be any abnormal sound, turn the machine off immediately. Take the juicer apart and reassemble it correctly before turning it on. You know that we advocate homegrown, unsprayed, untainted soil produce. That's number one. Second best is certified grade A organic that you can buy from a health store or several markets now. They have them around the country. But we know that isn't feasible. We know these things aren't available, all the produce, year-round. And we know also that most everything that is commercially grown that the supermarket shelves stock are full of pesticides, sprays, insecticides, fungicides, etc. Now we must address that. And the easiest way to remove that is the way I'm going to show you now. There are a lot of products on the market, but this is the simplest, and you can do this in your own kitchen. First of all, I want you to take regular common table salt and 4 heaping tablespoons of table salt into a half a sink full of the coldest water that'll come out of the faucet. Then I want you to stir it up till it totally dissolves. Now you know that salt will kill most fungus and bacteria, but that is not enough to remove all the pesticides and insecticides. Then I want you to take a lemon, cut it in half, and with your hand very simply squeeze the juice of a half a lemon into that salt water solution. Salt water and lemon makes a diluted form of hydrochloric acid. Once you rinse all that salt water, lemon solution off, you have just removed 100% of the DDT, the arsenic, the cyanide, the parathine and malathion, which are phosphorus nerve gas pesticides. You see how easy it is to remove the poisonous surface sprays from your produce? Now you turn the machine on and you'll immediately notice the separation. In a split second, the food shoots right to the back and the juice comes through that screen in a half of a turn. Now you'll notice how I do this. Okay? Very simply done. Here's the fiber shooting out in a half a turn. Now as I said early on, here's your plunger. You let the plunger do the work for you. Now if you ever hear a noise like that, you immediately follow up with another carrot, you see, and that will put the thing in balance. Very simple for you. Then when you cut the apple, what I want you to do is quarter the apple. Sometimes if you get a small apple, you can cut it down the middle and put a half at a time, but most apples are fairly good size, so you quarter them. Sometimes if they are large, you might have to cut them in 6, you see. I do want to show you something very special with our machine. It's quite unique. And you'll notice, here is the pulp as it's ejected out the back end, and you'll notice it's kind of semi-wet because of the immediacy of the pulp ejection within a half of a turn. But every fiber is like little pieces of dry hair and lint. Now something very special, and we designed it this way, that our machine will do, the fiber or the pulp or the skin, if you will, of an apple, should it be waxed with petroleum and paraffin, will come out practically whole. There's the skin, and here's the inside part, and if you will, you'll see little tooth marks where the blades, no matter how you put the apple skin in, will shave the meaty part to extract the juice out of it. So when you're doing these greens, what I want you to do is push them in, and since you are going to dilute them with carrot and celery, or carrot and celery and apple, or just carrot and apple, what I want you to do is to take a carrot and push the carrot over the greens and let that be your plunger. Then the juice of the carrot will wash that precious chlorophyll and B complex right through the straining basket. Can you see it now? This is exactly the way I want you to do your juicing of greens. So you use your plunger the last little bit. Now there comes your handful of parsley, and you're going to take your carrot and use that as your pusher. Now celery is quite simple. There's your celery with the leaves, and there's no need with our juicer to break and string these strings down, which are the most vital part of the celery anyway, with magnesium mineral and potassium mineral, and the sodium mineral lying in there, you see? Now this is your raw potassium broth, one of the finest drinks you'll ever put into your body, and it's just in about this proportion. Now notice that we have a full bag of pulp in the receptacle, and I'll show you this. Now, as the pulp is ejected, it packs up very loosely. Now let's say you want to do a little more juicing before you want to turn the machine off. Then take this pulp and smash it down. Push it down so you can get a lot more juicing done, you see. When you do an orange, simply quarter it, and you'll see a different substance entirely come from this machine. It'll be very, very creamy. It'll be very white indeed, not orange looking or watery. And it'll be fiberless on top of it because of that straining basket not allowing any of the pulp or the fiber to come through. But instead of having a 1% food value source, which is mostly sugar anyway, you literally have 100% of the food value. You want to cut the pineapple and the watermelon into a ring starting from the bottom end first. And with the watermelon now, it's from the vine end first. And you want to cut it in about a 1-inch ring, just the way I'm showing you here. And this rope that runs through the middle of that pineapple, it's just as dry as can be, but it's full of enzymes. So what I want to do now is show you how the pineapple is made into juice. Take your pineapples in little wedges and just shove them through. Always remember, all this produce that I'm doing is thoroughly washed, and we'll show you how to do that in this tape. Very simple. And you'll notice the machine does not bog down. So this is what you do. You take the watermelon and cut it up in strips in actuality so it'll fit through the hopper, through the opening. And that's what we're going to do right now. And if you remember and you read and you get the paraphernalia from our office, you'll realize how powerful of an antioxidant and the powerful source of chlorophyll that lies, which is a biogenic, a healer, that lies in the watermelon green. And that's what we're going to do here. Very simply done. This way, you receive 100% of the food value. You're using the rind, the skin, you benefit from all the chlorophyll, the potassium, the zinc, the magnesium, one of the greatest thirst quenchers known to man, and also a very fine diuretic. Now, I want to go into the cleaning of the juice machine. And the first thing I want you to do, always, is to unplug the machine from the electrical outlet. All you have to do is take the plug out before you even take the juicer apart. Make sure you unplug the machine. Now you unclamp the side clamps, pick up the cover. Now you can also take the whole machine apart at one time, but what I want you to do after you make your juice is to pick up that cover and look in the back here. As the basket slides with force, the pulp up the side, and it hits the bottom of the cover with impact, the pulp slides around the side and blows to the back. And you have a buildup back here before the pulp drops into that receptacle. Now I don't want you to rinse that down the drain pipes, because that's nothing but fiber and cellulose. So I want you to reach in and scoop this part out. There's a big bulky load of it here, and dump it back into the receptacle. And then what I want you to do, take a little bit of this that might be clinging and clear that out. Now you can take the rest of the machine, and when you pick it up, I want you to pick it up and hold it this way. Lift it up with a slight angle towards the back. If you pick it up with the spout facing downwards, this will get all over your floor or all over your shoes. You see that dripping? So keep it tilted to the back. First thing we're going to do is dump all the parts in the sink. Let the water go in the side of the basket. First thing you're going to do is just rinse very easily the plunger and the pusher. Place it over on the side. Now, I only hand wash the cover. I just take my hand and help get some of the pulp and some of the fibrous part out. And you don't have to be that fastidious. You just get in there and really give it just a nice quick rinse, the hopper, and what have you. That's simple. Then from the bottom, I want you to push the basket out. Now, this is the juice container where the juice comes through into your glass or cup. It's a conductor of the juices. Let the faucet spray, the force of the faucet, give it a rinsing. Just that simple. Now here's the other part of the juicer duct. Very quickly, the force of the faucet rinses all the particles off. Then you take your vegetable brush. Now here's your screen, your micro mesh screen. And you do a few swipes inside, just like I'm doing here. And then you come and you rotate the screen with your hand, Get yourself a nice bristle brush, something similar to this, a vegetable brush with nylon or plastic bristles. Rotate this in your hand, and the head of this brush fits right into this opening where the screen is. And you do the rotation, maybe 1.5 to 2 rotations around, always letting the water run it, and that will rinse out all these little particles. And she's done. That took about a minute, no more than a minute and a half. That's how easy it is to clean the juicer after you used it all day long. These are the parts that I just rinsed out. The first piece that you put on is the spout part. And it's going to fit, of course, with the name, the spout facing the name. Then the second piece, of course, with that little cutout, which I showed you early on, it drops right in this opening with the chute coming in the back receptacle. Now, you notice all these pieces are wet. I did not take the time to dry them. I don't want you to do that. I want you to air dry them. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. Now, here's your straining basket. It's one-piece cartridge with the blades. You drop them in position, and then take your fingers, your thumb and your forefinger crooked, and just seat it down. Put it down and spin it, like I mentioned, to make sure that it's in the proper position and nothing's binding. And here's the cover. Drops back on. Take your locking clamps, bring them up, and snap them down. And there is your plunger. Now, here's what I mean by air dry. Just turn the machine on and let the air spin whatever drippings there are out there. It'll dry it all off. If it's necessary to wipe the outside, then very simply take a little towel, paper towel, or a little dish towel or anything like that you have handy, and kind of wipe the outside. But you'll notice the little beads of water on the inside. I never chanced the fact that you could get a piece of lint. I have to stress that to you. I hope that this tape has answered most of your questions on the operation of the Juiceman juicer. We want to make juicing as easy as possible, and we try to guide you step by step on how to do this on a daily basis. It's so simple. You know, knowledge is only, and information is only part of the answer. You must apply this information. You must use it on a daily basis. And if you do, you're going to reap great benefits from this. I want you to experience the power of these raw juices and the enzymes they contain. And you know, there's a choice, sickness or health. I mean, it's your choice. You've got the vehicle to do it with, and what I want you to do, I want you to do it, like I said, many times a day, and remember the leafy greens. I cannot stress that enough. All life on this planet emanates from the greens of the plant, so use them. And I want to wish you good luck, health and happiness. It's all up to you.
For additional information on our complete line of juicing books, video, and audio tapes, as well as other nutritional information, call us at 206-762-8405 or write The Juiceman, 5900 4th Avenue South, Suite 100, Seattle, Washington, 98108.